Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dylan Silver, and today on the show I have a guest, Kenneth Kwiatkowski, who has a product that is really interesting, a sprinkler head space that I'm interested in talking about today and learning more about. Kenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dylan. Thanks for having me on.
You know, I have some people who are service providers to the real estate space, and I have people who are doing lending and, you know, mini cost segregation tax attorneys and strategists, but I haven't had anybody who's got a product like this. So it's great to have some diversity here. Tell us about how this came about.
Well, you know, Dylan, it was just an idea that came to mind in solving my own problem in my lawn. I had these darn cement donuts around my sprinkler heads. And you know, I had, in a couple places, I had 3 of them stacked because they kept on sinking. And so they weren't protecting my sprinkler head. And with, you know, my landscaper coming through, he's ripping through because he has 100 lawns to do. He's not going to worry about your sprinkler heads whatsoever. So now and again they break and whatever, you know, and I'm spending $200 every time my irrigation guy has to come to my house. And it's like, well, you might as well fix all of them. So I started making some prototypes. It's like, I got to think of something better, something that will do multi-function, not just one simple function of protecting your sprinkler heads. So I started making prototypes out of cardboard. Then I went to some PVC pipe, crazy glue, and a little spray paint. And that's how I came up with, well, originally it was called the grass hole, but we rebranded, so it's Sprinkler Guard is what we call it. I'm not McDonald's yet. I need more of a terminology like Burger King. You know what you're getting. Or Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we rebranded it Sprinkler Guard. I call it Sprinkler Guard by Grasshole. So it kind of describes what the product does. But it does more than just protect your sprinkler heads against trucks, lawnmowers, weed whackers. It actually helps with snowplows and snow blowers up north. But in addition to protecting it, the tube section keeps your sprinkler heads aligned, which the cement donuts didn't do. There may be some other products out there, but it doesn't have multi-functions like mine. And for instance, we have St. Augustine grass in Florida. It grows like a weed. It grows sideways. It doesn't really grow up and down like northern grass, like ryegrass. But this is why I have this disc around it. So this disc helps prevent the grass from growing over it. So the pop-ups pop up, the rotators rotate. But you still have to maintain your lawn. I'm not going to say it's 100% guaranteed. If you don't mow your lawn, it's not going to get grown up. But what we did was ingenious in my patents. We put these perforations on the bottom. In new home construction, these guys are just throwing in sprinkler heads, and they're near your driveway, they're near your sidewalks, they're near the building, and they're not protected. So the beauty part of these perforations, if it's close to that, you could just score and snap this off. So there's over 1,000 configurations here that you could customize this to, even with the curbing that you put into your flower beds and so forth. And I was silly; I didn't know how close mine were, and it was like, wow, I'm glad I invented this. So it is ABS. plastic, flexible, and we put a UV deterrent in here. Now, these
Oh.
are probably going to last, and I don't put any warranty on it. I'm going to say 5 years, probably 10. I mean, I still had prototypes in my yards that I just made myself.
So one of the questions that I have, because I'm not a landscape guy, I do a lot of wholesale real estate, and I recently got a real estate license, so I work with a lot of distressed property. So the yard is the least of the concerns, but I do see, of course, crews that come and restore and fix and flip, and then they'll work on the yard. One of the things that I've noticed is when you're stepping on a sprinkler head, you're like, oh no, I just stepped on this. I hope I didn't break this thing. Is that will it avoid that issue? If you're stepping on these, it's not going to break the sprinkler head.
Correct. So what I tell people is for maximum protection, make sure your sprinkler head's about an inch below the top of the tube section. So as you're running, I run mine over with my car all the times because they're so
Oh, wow.
close to they're so close to the driveway. But it pushes it down. But you just have to lift it up a little and reset. Put some dirt under there. You have erosion all the time with water coming out of that your sprinkler heads. So you got to adjust them accordingly. And what I did to make them look pretty, I just take some fish gravel and put it on the inside here.
Sure.
They do make some glow in the dark gravel, which I'm gonna try out and put in my yard and see how that looks. Hey, baby, light it up a little. And
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
this way
That's
I know
right.
where my sprinkler heads are. But a lot of people, I got some naysayers out there, but it is what it is. I mean, they don't. Oh, it's going to look like crap in my yard. I'd rather know where my sprinkler heads are than when they aren't. They're not going to be in your middle of the lawn because when they design irrigation system, they're all around the edge of your lawns.
Now, I want to ask you about your background when it comes to design and then landscaping. Were you always a landscape guy? Were you always big into landscaping?
My background is public accounting, but I come from the school of hard knocks. I worked my way through college, whether I was a mason in New York City or hanging drywall with the French-Canadian guys, working on vacations, I built chimneys in my lifetime, framed houses. The only thing I really haven't done was roofing. That was not my big particular, but I know how to fix roofs. But I don't want to be up there. I don't want to be up there if I don't. I don't want to be up there if I don't have to. That's all.
And
So my background, my background. I do have a background in construction. Yes.
Going from you mentioned accounting into a field that's not exactly tangent, right? I want to ask you about starting this business and then also the prototyping and then getting it to where it is today. How did you go about that? And was it connections that you had previously made, or did you have to establish new connections in order to get the molding, in order to get your first marketing out there and sales and so on and so forth?
Well, startups are hell. That's what I could tell you. So I had you got to make prototypes. And so I wanted to keep this local in my community, support, give it economic impact. So I went to a few local manufacturers until I finally found one. But I had a prototype and they could see what I was doing. And, they said, well, we could build the mold over in Taiwan or China. And it's like, well, as a veteran, I really have a hard time doing that. I just can't. If I'm going to say it's made in the USA, I mean, it's start to finish, and all my stuff comes from the United States. And but getting around and finding the right manufacturer was key, and finding the right one who actually build molds. So we started out with a little 2-cavity aluminum mold. Probably did, I don't know, 150,000 units off of that, and then we went to a 4-cavity mold. But the expense of going from aluminum to a P20 or S7 steel, it's double the price. I mean, you're going to spend $60,000-$70,000 on a mold without even blinking an eye.
And so when you were going through this process, and was this the first time that you were diving into like materials and molds and so on and so forth? This is a totally new field to me.
I was totally green, and wish my dad was around because he was a chemical engineer. But you got to learn, and you try not to learn. And like Thomas says, and my best accomplishments are my mistakes. Well, you get tired of making those mistakes,
Yeah.
so you try to put the best team around you and keep those positive influences. I mean, I had my wife and my family supporting me, but it was all out of pocket. It was all out of pocket money. So you got to be prepared. Then it's like, okay, all right, now we got to file patents.
Yeah.
Setting up the corporation, that's the easy part for me because my background in public accounting, I do these in my sleep. And but it's really getting the patents. Now we got to have trademarks. We got to have trademarks for the name so nobody steals this and that. And boy, that was an adventure, and finding the right patent attorney too. I was local. There's a big firm in town here, and I met Doug Cherry a couple years ago, many years ago, and he deals more with trademarks locally, but he has another. They have a nationwide office, so there was another guy within his firm that deals with patents. So we, design patent, utility patent, get those patents done. One thing I did learn, if you pay a little extra money, you get those patents done quicker. It's a couple extra thousand, but sometimes they don't tell you. If you go the normal course, it's going to take you 2 years, maybe longer. But
Yeah.
but mine's a simple patent.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So how long did it take you for the patent?
Design patent, probably about a year. Yeah, about a year. And the utility patent, which is the coup de grace, about 2 years.
So when you were looking at designs and molding and patents and so on and so forth, I'm imagining a lot of this may be new, but some of it you may have had maybe an advantage from the accounting world as well. But where was the biggest growth point where you're like, okay, this is obviously going to be something where maybe I have to bring in outside knowledge. I really have to do my homework on X, Y, and Z.
Probably my Achilles heel is the marketing aspect of it. I thought I was good, setting up I had help, paid, contractors or whatever, and setting up the website, setting up the shopping cart. Then I got into Amazon, and that kind of
Wow.
blew up my product a little. But come to find out, Amazon's taking 55 to 58% off of each sale.
Really?
That's Yes, sir. When you add in the shipping costs to ship to Amazon, and they have to be packaged in a certain way, then you're doing advertising on Amazon. Yeah, it really adds up quick. They're going to take a third just if they're selling it, but then you add the shipping and other things, the advertising, it adds up quick. I mean, we were running 6 or 7 different ad campaigns, and we look at them once a week. Which ones are doing good? Which ones are doing bad? Okay, let's look at our keywords. Let's look at our competitions. Let's look at negative keywords. I mean, it was an eye opener. What the hell are backlinks? Oh, it's like, wow, that's a horse of a different color. I understood SEO, but it's like, how do I get ranked higher? How do I get ranked higher? And then it's like, okay, let's get this certification with the SBA. Let's get this certification with the state of Florida. Oh, let's not forget. Let's get our Google profile going and get validated there too. And now I'm actually registered with the Better Business Bureau, so I'll have their rubber stamp, and that's a good rubber stamp. I've been voted by Best of Best, and I don't know where it came from, in 2023 and 2024 as the best sprinkler head protection product out there in the market. And there is
Wow.
another company that voted for me as well last year. But if you pull up AI, my product comes up as the best sprinkler head protection product.
That's impressive stuff, because I know a lot of people used to be Yelp, right? And then they kind of phased out Yelp, although I think it's still on Apple Maps. And then everyone went to Google. And then I found myself the other day going to ChatGPT. I said, hey, for whatever it was, what's the best? And I said, oh no, now I've replaced it. So the people are now doing it with the sprinkler heads. I want to pivot a bit here, Kenny, and ask you about what makes your product superior. I'm not a landscaping guy, so forgive me for some level of ignorance here, willful maybe ignorance in this area.
Not a problem.
What's some of the advantages versus the other products that are out there? Is it weight bearing? Is it that it's also going to keep it vertical? What's some of the advantages?
You just hit the nail on the head. My product does more than one thing versus the cement donut. There's some good videos my a colleague did. Andy Humphreys, he's the sprinkler nerd, and he went through all the different products out on the market. There's plastic donuts, there's cement donuts, there's this product, that product, but mine outranks them all. It's quality virgin ABS plastic with a UV deterrent that does multiple functional things. I have not seen a product that is customizable out on the market. Mine is the only one.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I want to pivot and ask you about, and I don't know how much, and maybe some, but about farm and ranch. So I'm in Texas, right? So we've got a lot of vacant land. Florida has a similar thing. I'm also, as much as I would love to say that I know a lot about this, I don't, although I'm renting a ranch with some buddies. And so if you have, large scale, maybe more industrial systems, are the sprinkler heads the same size? Are they larger? Are you familiar with how this works? And are you looking at maybe other verticals within the space as well?
Great question. So my product right now will accommodate any sprinkler head up to 3 inches. I'm in the process of building another mold that will accommodate any sprinkler head up to 5 inches. When you get into commercial farming and stuff like that, those sprinklers are above ground. They're on wheels and they just track themselves. There is, some people do for like different, like horse polo fields. They're irrigating underground and not above ground.
I see. So the main avatar would be basically single family residential homes, right? Or apartment complexes.
HOAs, condo associations, and not to say cemeteries. I've donated 180 units to the state of Idaho's Veteran Cemetery in Blackfoot. What I did, I said, you guys pay for the shipping. My cost of shipping, it was like 50 or I think it was $100 to ship them 180 units.
Yeah.
And they put them in the ground there. And so shortly, I actually invented a cover that goes on these. So people up north of the Mason-Dixon line, when they drain their irrigation systems in the fall, they'll put these covers on to protect them against the winter elements. So not only am I in that cemetery, I'm over in Cocoa Beach, the cemetery there, and the National Cemetery here in Sarasota, Florida.
So for folks who are not using any type of sprinkler head protection, I'm assuming they're basically throwing away money because they're potentially having to buy new sprinkler heads every so often because these things break, right? And so it's not, I don't know what the cost is to get a new sprinkler head, but it seems like a hassle and it seems like it could be costly versus getting something that's going to keep your sprinkler head, available for 5+ years.
Well, Dylan, you can't buy back your time. My coach, JT Fox, you can't buy back your time. Yeah, so I have a fractional CFO business still. I charge my clients $150, $200 an hour. But my time is really worth about $200 a minute. If you really look at it, and your time is too, Dylan, you cannot buy back that time. So if you're out there fixing your sprinkler heads in the middle of summer, sweating your butt out there, is your time really more valuable than be doing that? I think 300% so. A new sprinkler head, all right, maybe, $10 $10 to $20, depending on what make and model. But you got to go out there and dig and then release it. And God help you if dirt falls in that water line. Now you got to purge that out and try to suck that dirt out because it's going to clog up that sprinkler head. Do you really want to be doing that? Okay, so you call your local irrigation guy. Okay, I'm going to charge you $50. I'm going to charge you $100 just for a trip charge. Well, while he's there, he might as well replace a couple more sprinkler heads that are possibly faulty. Before you know it, you're at $200-$300. You can buy a 10-pack for $65.
Sure. It makes all the sense in the world to me, and I've seen them because I feel like I've stepped on some of them, and I've said, I hope I didn't break that thing. And you mentioned going over one of these in a car, so I mean, you can imagine stepping on it isn't going to do damage. We are coming up on time here, though, Kenny. Where can folks go to learn more about the business, to buy one of these products, and maybe to reach out to you?
Sure. Go to my website. It's www.sprinkler-guard.com. And you can find me, you can plug in, search Grasshole, and you will find my website. You can find my business profile on Google. You can see my YouTube videos. I have plenty of videos on my website as well. My LinkedIn profile is out there. So, come and join me. I support more veteran organizations and non-for-profits than any other company my revenue size. Make me a liar and support more.
Kenny, thank you for hopping on the podcast here today. It was great meeting with you, talking with you here over the digital waves, and congrats on all the success and to your continued success.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.